Hello, welcome to episode 6 of the Bedroom Studios official podcast. I'm your host, Michael Butts, and joining me today is singing goldsmith, aka Michelle Calder. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for saying yes.
Of course.
I've noticed that's like how I start every time after someone says thanks for having me. It's like thanks for saying yes.
Aww.
No, well, the thing is, I've asked. I say this every time. I asked for I asked at the same time in like a copy pasta like 22 people, and they all said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just a matter of who wants to do it this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So far it's been. I mean, I was gonna get you last week, but you were busy doing something.
Yep.
Yeah. I also asked James Bowlin or Bolin, however you pronounce his last name, from. He's the drummer for My Ocean Potion, and he was like, "Nah, I can't today."
Yeah. Well, maybe soon.
Yeah, maybe soon. He's way good drummer. He's like he looks so relaxed on the kit. I like it. I like when drummers are like that, so relaxed but are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if I hit it on the nose when I made the post earlier today. It was just saying like, well, from what I've known, that's what I basically was like. We're gonna talk about this from how long because of the things I've seen you done for how long I've known you.
Yeah, yeah.
So you are, how recent would you say you are in the realm of being in like the local music scene? Like how you'd say you're pretty damn recent or still?
It depends on how you look at it. I started performing at the age of 7.
Oh goodness, okay.
So I've been around for a long time. Yeah, like through St. John Vianney, the big musicals that they would put on, we'd like do these huge musicals and travel around and do them. So the Just for Fun Players is where I got my start. 21 years in the church choir through St. John Vianney.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's not what you'd think of as like a choir. It's more like a band. Everyone kind of has their own microphones and their parts, and we've got all these instruments and stuff. But
So is that so being in St. John Vianney?
Yeah.
Is that how you kind of assimilated over into being in the Knox choir? Because I've seen you in there a few times.
No, that's not how I ended up over there.
Oh.
As an early adult-ish, mid-adult, I took some vocal lessons. I've taken a lot of different lessons over the course of the years, but I was at the time doing lessons with Judy Began over at Andrew's Music Studio, and she got me an audition with John Lindsay Botton to work as a Christmas caroler.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was 2010. And I've been working for him as a Christmas caroler ever since. So 14 years now. That's a long time to be wearing Victorian outfits every Christmas. But but that's what I've been doing. So he's the music director over at Knox. So basically, I have learned that my life is fun and interesting when I say yes to John. So
Yeah, same.
right? So when John's like, hey, do you want to be in this production? Do you want to come sing this random gig with me at this random place? I'm just like, yeah, if I'm available, I am there. So that's how I've gotten involved over at Knox. I've done 2 musicals with John at Knox,
Nice.
I think. Yeah.
Because I remember when I first met you, I didn't know you.
Right,
But
yeah.
you were in the choir for Joanne Butler's Under
Yeah,
November
yeah.
Skies.
I sang on her original recording
Nice.
of it was the Remembrance Day song.
Under November Skies.
That's the one, Under November Skies. Yeah, and we recorded that at Scott Ferguson's studio.
Okay. Who's got? Remind me who Scott Ferguson is again?
FMP Matrix.
Oh, I was thinking that was your one of your guitar players. That's McDonald. Mr.
You're thinking
McDonald,
Scott
isn't it?
McDonald.
Scott McDonald. Okay.
Yeah, so
yes.
Scott McDonald actually is someone else I know through St. John Vianney. So I've
Ooh.
known him since I was a teenager. Back in 2019, I finally was like, I need to learn to play the damn guitar. Because I've had a guitar since I was 16, and I've always just picked it up, put it down, picked it up, put it down. And I was like, this is the year. I'm going to do it. And so I paid him, and he gave me a great rate, just to come over to my house every week and teach me how to play. So after 2 years of that, I was like, you know what? I really want to I want to start recording stuff. I have these goals that I've been working towards. I had this timeline in my mind of okay, I want to start touring by X date. And in order to do that, I need all of this material and I need all these steps taken. So I just gave him a few things that I'd been working on, and I was like, hey, here's some lyrics. Play with those and see what you think. And he had them over the Christmas holidays that year and came back and was like, yeah, we could do something with these. So, so yeah, we worked those up. I think the first one that we finished was Stay.
Was the debut single?
It was the debut single, yeah. Yeah, and we've done 6 or 7 finished ones, and and then we've got, gosh, I don't even know how many.
Oh, so you got some.
We have so many things coming down the pipe right now.
Oh, so you got some unreleased ones right now too.
Yeah. So I've got 8 songs currently released, and let's see, he's played guitar on all of them. Oh no, all of them except for the one with Brian Doucette.
And was he also on Singing to the Other Side? Was he also on that one?
He's on that one too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought, because, Blue Acres was the producer on that, I thought everything was Daryl.
No, so okay, so that was my first kick at the can at trying to do my own mix and master. I worked on that for like 3 months. So I recorded everything in my home studio, including Scott's guitar, all the vocals, like everything. Scott played the bass as well, and I played all the kind of percussion-y stuff. And actually I hid like little things in there because it's like a really personal song about like people who've passed away. So I have instruments from family members who've passed away, and I just kind of like buried them in the mix. There's like a bit of harmonica in there, and there's like some, like, anyway, there's some personal stuff. So anyway, I played with it for months, and I kind of bounced it off of a few different like producers that I know, and was like, I don't know what to do about this, like how can you help me out? And they give me little bits of advice, but I still wasn't really like making the progress that I wanted. And I reached a point where I was like, I have to release this, I can't wait any longer. So I'm like, Daryl, who I love, I adore, and
Daryl's amazing.
He's fantastic, and he saved me from myself. So so I gave him all of the raw stems, after like I edited things, but like I just kind of stripped everything back, took everything that I had put into it, and was just like, please make this pretty. And he did. So I 100% have him to thank for that. So if you're listening, thank you, Daryl.
Oh, we probably will.
Yeah.
Everyone is everyone's biggest fan.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's such a small community, and there's so many wonderful artists around here. Like
I mean, if you take the whole province as a whole, there's several communities.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, so it was explained to me that like Nova Scotia it's just a bunch of circles.
Yep.
So you have like the HRM circle. So once you
the HRM circle still break into like 3 or 4 different circles.
Well, really though, like we've got our own Sackville circle. There's a Dartmouth circle. There's like 2. Well, yeah, okay. So there's a Cole Harbour circle. There's the other Dartmouth circle. So like there's but you kind of meet everyone within that circle, and then you're going around in circles because you just only know the people in that circle. So you have to actually like travel around and start playing open mics or like visiting shows or whatever, just to break into the different circles around the province. Yep. And that's really the best strategy to grow in this province. That's actually what I've been doing for the past year.
Here's the fun part, doing out of HRM.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So last year I actually went to Giant Stock.
Oh, where's that again?
That is in Merrick-Gamish.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, because I wanted to meet the Picto Circle people. So I went there all by myself. I didn't know a single person. I just showed up and was like, all right, let's network.
I've played in Cape Breton several times, but I'm still not a part of the Cape Breton circle.
So I am working on it. I actually...
Is that why you keep going up every week?
Well, so a few weeks ago, I volunteered at Blueberry Jam. Up in Mabu. So I've got this friend, she's Trisha, she's wonderful, and she volunteers for all these things, and she suggested that I go up. So I went up with her, and I got to meet lots of people and kind of get my toe wet in the water up in
How was,
Cape Breton.
who do I know that played there? I might be mistaken it for another. Wait, Willie Stratton was there for sure.
He was, yeah.
Yes.
He played like the late night barn show.
Nice. Was it with Willie Stratton or was it with the Boojums?
It was with the Boojums.
Nice. Which is literally Willie Stratton, just different genre.
Right. Yeah.
Him and his partner or fiance or wife, I don't know what.
Sure, partner.
Partner.
We'll go with that.
Sarah is really just a laid back bass player, and it's just like still a lot of energy with just like being simple up there. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I've met her and him once, but like that was at music week last year.
I've yet
Very
to meet him
nice
personally,
people.
and when he came back from Port Hawkesbury, and played the Paula Reagan, I didn't get to talk to him.
Oh. Well, you still can.
Yeah, no, I still DM him all the time. Have you ever seen his stories recently?
No.
Oh my goodness, he's just constantly working with tape. He's not using computer anymore. He's not using digital workstations.
What?
Yeah, he's just doing straight console and tape work now.
Wow.
4-track, and I was like, ooh, wow.
Cool. Yeah.
He's doing some like, oh, what's the word? Well, we'll call it Spanish cowboy stuff, but it was like the real word is like cowboy in Spanish. I don't remember what it means or what it is, but he was showing me. Posted something on the story. And I was like, oh wow, some Spanish cowboy stuff here.
Yeah.
I'm loving the cowboy country now after listening to Waylon Jennings a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it really, I'd say it's a bit of an inspiration. I don't know, or just like a good thing to like lean onto.
Sure.
Because it's just, I don't know, it's just helped a lot. It's it's an inspiration for sure. But speaking of inspirations, you know, since you've been around way longer than I have.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah. She's not 27, guys.
I might be old enough to be your mom. Just saying.
Oh.
I am older than I look. I know that much.
Oh, what are we? 2024?
Yeah.
Mom's 62.
What? Your mom? Well,
Yeah.
No, I'm not old enough to. You know what I mean.
I know. But yeah, there was.
I'm not 62.
Speaking of my mom though, when we played Freeman's last year.
Yeah.
For the kitchen parties with Jam Into the Night.
Yeah,
I was like, who's that like woman in her 20s just bouncing around? And I was like, Mom, that's Michelle. She's like
40.
In her 40s.
Yeah.
She's like, what? What's your skincare routine? I was like, I don't know. Ask her.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Sunscreen and not going out. Sunscreen
Avoid
when
the
you go
sun.
out.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I avoid the sun. Mom's like, why are you never outside?
Yeah.
I don't like the sun.
Yeah.
I got burnt twice this summer. I'm not happy.
Yeah, that's no good.
And like the last week, my arms have been peeling.
Ooh.
Every day. And it was like, oh, it looked bad.
Yeah.
Looked like I was dying.
Well, you look like a normal human right now. You're good.
Yeah, thank goodness. Some of the tan must have went with the peel because I am not as dark as I was. I do have a farmer's tan though.
Oh, fun.
Well, so circling back about talking about inspirations and all that stuff. What would do you have like a staple like, oh yeah, this person's my inspiration, or is it just like
so many?
I just want to do what I want to do. You know, are you actually like inspired by people, or you just do your own thing?
I mean, I'm inspired by lots of people. That's a tough question. So like my early inspiration was Jewel, obviously. Like she in my era, like. When I was in junior high, that's when like I first got like the Pieces of You tape, because tapes were big back then.
They're still big now.
Sure, yeah, but like CDs was like, oh wow, you have a CD player? You're advanced. Like, yeah, but yeah, so I big fan of Jewel, and like Lisa Loeb, and that kind of the girl rock from the '90s. I love all that stuff.
So
and
like Headpins, what's the other one? Heart.
Like Heart, yeah, I love Heart. Yeah, and like I'd say more modern stuff, like, gosh, like I love Sarah Bareilles.
I don't think I've heard of Sarah Bareilles.
You should look her up.
I'll have to.
She's a talented lady. Yeah, so Sarah Bareilles is amazing. I mean, a big fan of Maggie Rogers.
That one rings a bell, but I can't put my name on it.
Yeah. I mean, and there's other like non-chick musicians that have inspired me. Like there's like I love Bon Iver, like Bon Iver, however you pronounce it. Huge fan.
That's one I've heard of. I haven't really listened to his stuff, but I see him all the time, and I'm like, who is this guy?
His real name is Justin Vernon. And so his first big album he put out was actually like, he got his heart broken by this woman named Emma, and he kind of went up to his dad's cabin in the woods and brought all his instruments with him, and he just wrote and recorded this whole album over the course of a winter with the instruments that he had. That's why he has like a lot of like the saw stuff, and kind of it's all really organic sounding. So he basically named himself like Good Winter, like because it was a good winter.
The album was called Good Winter. Is that
No. Like Bon Iver is French for. Good
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bon Iver
Oh, I don't know French.
That's okay. Bon hiver.
I don't speak France.
I do speak French, but like I grew up with immersion French. I do come from Acadian roots, so my oldest one, who is now 19, we put them in early immersion, so like primary all the way up through. They dropped out of French immersion at like grade 10 or something like that, but we both still speak fluent French, because we learned that together.
I have probable Acadia roots as well, because mother's side's from Cape Breton, but like we don't speak it.
Well, so it skipped a generation with me. Like my grandmother was francophone growing up, and she taught French at the high school in Spring Hill, but she didn't teach her kids how to speak French. So that's why my parents kind of put me in French, thinking that I'd just pick it back up again. But neither of my parents could speak French.
So you and your child, you're both DELF certified?
I would not say we're certified. We just speak it.
You're just there.
Yeah, we just know the words.
Well, yeah, if you know the words, do you have one like in the vault that's in a different language, or you just a solely English singer?
Oh, no, I don't have any. I don't have any recorded materials or written materials in a different language. But I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility for the future. Like,
That'd
I absolutely
probably be a fun
could,
one
yeah.
to do. Just you and I don't know. Well, who else?
Me and Kristen
Sylvie.
Martell or something.
Or
Sylvie, yeah.
Sylvie, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know Kristen that well yet. I've only just seen her in passing, but she is someone I idolize. I think she's wonderful. So maybe.
I don't think I've met Kristen Martell yet.
Oh yeah, look her up. Beautiful.
Okay, I have a lot to look up.
You have so many things. This is gonna be an education, son.
Oh goodness. So let's see. So from when you started putting out songs to now,
Yeah.
I've kind of, talking in the DMs. I would say there has, your new EP that's out right now.
My first EP, my only EP.
Your debut EP. Debut single, debut EP.
Well, actually, debut single came a year ago. Debut EP just came June 29th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Day after my my lead single for my upcoming album.
There you go.
Fun stuff. There was so much music coming out in June. It was
Yeah.
not even funny.
Well, I think a lot of people. So the Nova Scotia Music Week had a deadline, and a lot of people were trying to get their stuff out there before the deadline was over, and that's kind of why.
Oh, I always do it. If I remember, it's just like, oh, it's Monday. Well, I got till
Yeah.
5. Let me do it.
Yeah, fair.
So I was lucky that when the new single came out, I was like, haha, there's me.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm guessing you, at being now, in slightly seasoned in the music field and
Lightly seasoned.
Lightly
I would
seasoned.
not say that I'm
well,
fully
in the
seasoned
in the
yet.
aspects of live music,
Yeah.
I would say slightly seasoned.
So live music, I've been literally doing live music most of my life. But as a recorded artist, I've been kind of just easing my way into that, the live scene. So I have a 19-year-old. I also have an 18-year-old that's more or less mine. I'm raising my kid's friend. They've been living with me for the past 2 years, so sometimes you just acquire extra kids along the way, as you do. But anyway, so for like the last couple of decades, like I've basically just been momming it really hard and doing a lot of gigs that were kid friendly. A lot of coffee houses and like before 9 p.m. open mics and that kind of thing, that where I could bring my kiddo and still be on the ball with all the things. So I wasn't really booking bar gigs because that wasn't feasible for me. So it's weird, like once my kid got into their like mid-teens, then I started actually attending bar gigs, because I couldn't even attend. Like if I wanted to spend all my money on babysitting, sure, but like that's not realistic. So yeah, so like I'm just within the past like really 4 or 5 years starting to actually go out and see shows and meet other artists. So it's been interesting. Just like jumping into the scene, the circles, jumping into the circles.
No, oh, I can relate to that.
Yeah, but like I do have like a long history of doing a lot of shows. Like I was, I worked as a wedding soloist for like a solid 10 years at least.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I had like business cards. I would go to all the wedding trunk shows and put my business cards on everyone's shields and just like I'd have a little table. Oh man, the welcome wagons. They used to hire me to like sing at their bridal fashion shows. So they'd like I just like sing all the songs because like I'm classically trained. Like I did my training through the studio, but so I'm a lyrical soprano. I can sing you a really high aria right now, but I'm not going to. Ave Maria is obviously my favorite, and it gets the most requests, so it's really popular for weddings. So I'd be there with my Ave Maria and the wedding dresses, and that was yeah. When they say you have to pay your dues as a musician, like I've done some random gigs, man. I've sung on the back of moving parade floats in the dark. Like I once sang in someone's living room for just like the couple and their toddlers Let It Go from Frozen for their anniversary.
Why not?
Right? They just, there's a paying gig. Like, you
so
go
like a lot
where
of like so
they
semi-private
pay you.
events is what the resume started out with.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, a lot of weddings, corporate events. I would sometimes do corporate events for like various.
Oh, so the resume is
whatever.
hefty then.
My resume is massive, to be honest
shoot,
with you,
I mean.
because I've been doing this since I was 7. But it's just not. It's not bar heavy. So, like, most of the people that you would run into in, like, bar gigs have no clue who I am. And, like, yeah, like, it's just, but I'm excited to get out there and meet people. I'm excited to be a part of that scene. It's, yay.
Yeah, of course. I same as you said, diving in head first.
Mm-hmm.
Dove in head first after university. I did not do
Mm-hmm.
live music. I mean, I've done some things. We can count coffee houses from high school,
Mm-hmm.
and just going to coffee houses in university, if there was one.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to live gigs, I waited till I graduated before I started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And good lord, the one time you play, and then just in comes the floodgates of all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with one person, and it's just like, oh, if you met this person, you met this person. And it's just like, oh, thank goodness I don't get sensory overload. Time to shake everyone's hands,
Well, you're involved in the Freeman's crowd, right? So
Sure, I'm involved in crowds.
Sure.
You as well. You're involved in crowds.
Exactly. There's multiple circles.
Right.
But yeah, in Lower Sackville here, we've got like the Freemans, which is like kind of the music hub, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you go there and attend a free jam, you're in like immediately you're just welcomed in, and they just want you to meet everybody.
Yeah, but
so
like
it's
12 people at once. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 12 people now. When I first started going there in like 2019, the place was packed every Thursday.
Jesus.
It was like you had to fight for a spot to get like one song sometimes. Like,
Jesus.
yeah, so it was super packed. So
we talked about the free jam back with Ken on the last episode.
Yeah.
And when it was done at the Split Crow, when it was still in the Long McQuaid Plaza, and how Danny was the one hosting.
Danny Banfield.
Well, he's not gone anywhere. He's still here.
Well, okay, he moved to Bridgewater though.
Did he actually?
It's like, yeah. Like,
Oh my god, I thought he'd still
Not
lived
even
in
recently.
HRM.
No.
Oh goodness.
Like it's been a year or two.
Oh my god. Oh,
You're behind the times, Michael.
Yeah, I have. Last time I saw that guy in person,
Yeah.
was, oh goodness, June 2nd, 2023.
Okay.
I was playing at Patty's, and he just so happened to be at Patty's.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he ran the free jam right
Yeah.
up until he moved to Bridgewater.
Oh.
So it's been a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, when I only heard about it when Jer was doing it at Freeman's.
Right. Jer took over from Danny.
In Freeman's or like at Split Crow?
Freeman's.
Back in Freeman's?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
You right?
I thought he took over during like Split Crow time or something like
No.
that. No. Okay.
Nah, bruh.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh, wow. I did not know he was down in Bridgewater.
He's
I
in
thought
Bridgewater.
He was in the
Bless his
HRM.
sweet heart. I
Oh,
love
he's
that man.
a great singer, great player. He
Oh,
gets the
yeah.
crowd going every
Good
time
man.
he makes an appearance. It's
Yeah.
great. It's great.
Yeah.
There was
more
one
Danny
time
Banfields.
we were in I was in Port Williams for Rose and Mora's open mic back when I was still in Port Williams, and I do this and I just go, Danny, what are you doing here?
He gets around.
Yeah, he gets around and he's like, oh, what's this like? I'm like, oh, it's just it's an open mic. It's been just under a year old.
Right.
Rose and Mora are the hosts, and if you obviously you show up, you sign up on site, and you get 15 minutes worth of songs. So what does he do? He wows everyone with Space Oddity first.
Of course.
Yeah, and then he does some other songs. I forget the name. He brought a bunch of percussion instruments, getting wild. It was great. It was great. As soon as he whips out Space Oddity, everyone just goes crazy.
Yeah.
Because his voice matches it. It's good.
Yep.
And him and Jer they have roughly the same voice, so they can harmonize really well.
And Jer is another really talented guy.
Oh my goodness, is he ever?
So talented.
A drummer,
Love the heck out of that
saxophone,
guy.
harmonica, guitar, singing. What else?
Right? That's Jer Mambo is who we're referencing.
Oh.
Just in case anyone doesn't know which Jer we're talking about, that would be Jeremy Mumberket.
Yeah, the Jeremy Mumberket. From Cape Breton.
yeah, from around Shetty Camp.
Yeah, what's funny is he had family in Lordways, where my mother's from, and where Leona's from. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's surprising a lot of Cape Breton people.
Do you know I went to high school with Jer?
Did you actually?
I did.
Well,
we didn't know each other in high school. Well, actually, yeah. So he's a little bit younger than me, so we were a grade apart. So I didn't know him, but yeah, we were there at the same time.
Everyone's from Cape Breton and everyone goes to Sackville High.
Yeah. It's a big school.
Oh, I do like it though that certain people that when they're singer-songwriters and they do like stories.
Yeah.
Kind of like Leona, she's from Cape Breton as well.
Yeah. I love her too.
She's a singer-songwriter. She does some stuff about, growing up and all that stuff, and she has the Maritime Mondays.
Yeah.
At the Split Crow, the new Split Crow location.
She played my song recently.
On Women in Folk, yes.
Yes. Oh, she's the best.
Oh, she's great. I introduced her to my mom, and it was just immediately.
Of course. They would have so much to bond over.
I think they got like a 15 to 20 year difference. So we were actually at Monty's.
Yep.
Back when Jesse and Tyler were still hosting the jam. Mm-hmm. And I saw Leona, and of course my mom and Jake's mom are with us.
Right.
And I go, hey, Leona, this is my mom. She's from Lordways. She's like, oh, Lordways, come here.
Cute.
And then when we were at the Lighthouse Center, when Jake was one of the preliminaries, Leona was one of the preliminaries as well.
Yeah.
And I go, Mom's here. She's like, whoa, where's my best friend? she's hyper,
Yeah.
It's funny like that. I was like, I'm just gonna leave them be.
It's best, yeah.
Yeah, they'll talk each other's ears off about Cape Breton stuff.
I love that for them.
No, it's great when people like, and the thing is, Mom knows everybody in that area. I mean, she knew Jeremy Mumberket. She knew his parents, right? Mm-hmm. She knew John Hines. She knows Derek John Webb.
Love John Hines and Derek. There's so
you know
many
Derek Webb?
Derek Webb. No, I thought you were gonna say Derek from the the other band. I don't know how to actually pronounce his last name, but from the I keep pointing at Michael. That thing with the words and the place.
It definitely wasn't that
guy. He does
guy.
the jazz. But it's like not jazz. It's like funk and pop jazz.
No idea.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
You sure do.
I'm just talking about Derek John Webb.
I'm sure he's also wonderful.
He's a great guy. He came down from Cape Breton one time just to be at the Monty's Jam.
Oh.
That was fun. We bonded over Money for Nothing. I was like, do you know Money for Nothing? He's like, yeah. Cool. All right, let's do it. And then we just bonded over that. It was great. It was a great time. And then he's always doing something. What's funny, I was like, Mom, I called Mom one time, and I said, Mom, do you know Derek John Webb? And I was like, yeah, his daughter lives next to your aunt. Who's this? Oh, Derek Kolsch.
That guy.
Oh, he's from Florida.
I'm not saying he's from Cape Breton. I thought you were talking about him.
No, Derek Kolsch. Yeah,
right.
No, Derek Kolsch is a great guy, too.
Right, also a great guy.
Yes.
Sorry. Moving along.
But yeah, it was just the fact that my mom knew, like, almost everybody. She didn't know Brian, though, because Brian was more north than her.
Brian
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't know Brian because Brian's from Caledonia. Don't get me wrong, my late grandmother, her mom, and one of my mom's cousins was from Glace Bay. Mm-hmm. But and Brian can even justify to this, Caledonia's a shithole.
I've never been.
Good.
I can't speak ill of Caledonia.
I can.
Okay.
I've been there.
Fair enough. I will not partake, though.
No, place is stuck in the 80s or
Okay.
70s.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm sure they have their thing, and it's all good.
Oh, yeah, look at Brian in here. It's like, yeah, they got their. He'll be like, yeah, they got their thing, all right.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a no showcases showcase there.
Like a no case?
No cases, yeah.
Yeah.
For people who didn't get showcases at Music Week.
Indeed.
I just didn't even go to Music Week, so I just got in there.
Fair, yeah.
But it was fun with meeting a lot of people as well from the Cape Breton area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but circling back, I was like, do you know Jeremy Mumbo? She's like, yeah, I know Jeremy Mumbercat. I know his parents. It's like, well, do you know Tony Mumbercat? It's like, yep. Because he had, I think he's got either family and or a vacation spot down in Lordways. I was like, do you know John Hines? She's like, yeah, I know John Hines. Because he's, you go on the causeway, turn right. That's in the Port Hawkesbury and Lordways. Turn left, you go to Inverness. And there's John.
Well, John's over by Jiddick.
Isn't he not up Inverness way?
I don't know. When I was in Mabu...
he's left when you...
So when I was in Mabu, John was between Mabu and the causeway. I thought he was over by Jiddick.
Geography's not my thing. History's my thing. I just know he's up the Inverness way.
Yeah, I think that is the same direction.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway.
But it's near... Inverness is near Mabu. That's what I know. Inverness is right before Shady Camp. I think it's like... Oh, goodness. Between 30 and 60 minutes before Shady Camp or something like that.
Sure. Shady Camp's more north, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just know because I was in Inverness one night and then went to Shady Camp the next morning.
I see. Good story.
Yeah. It's... I'll say, like, if you're driving on a highway and you just see scenery here versus scenery in Cape Breton,
yeah, it's a little
it trumps it any time.
Right? The mountains there are incredible.
Yeah, our mountains,
yeah, whenever I drive anywhere's really past, like, New Glasgow, Antigonish, as soon as you get seen the mountains, it's like I just start thanking the powers that be that I actually am lucky enough to live here. Like, it's so beautiful. I'm just, like, driving down the highway, like, why? This is my life. This is amazing. It's, like, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, there's a lot of people that, are from different provinces, and they come here, to visit and or live.
Yeah.
And they'll say it's always better.
What's better?
Being here than other provinces.
Well, obviously.
In terms of music, obviously. There might be other things.
Yeah.
I don't know about housing. I don't own my own house.
Okay, so, yeah, a little bit of a housing crisis.
Yeah. But that's everywhere.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing, as you know, because, like, my involvement with the nonprofit that I'm in. Yeah. Yeah, so
yes.
Talk
about that, actually. Because that started... late 2022, or did that start last year? That
started exactly last year. So last year, September, Daryl and I actually played a charity gig on the back of a flatbed truck parked in the middle of a ball field where there was a homeless encampment set up.
Was it the one over there?
It sure was.
Okay.
But people who
aren't...
Over
there, I mean Cobequid.
Right, people who aren't from here who are listening, they don't know what over there is. So we're just lay it out for them. So we were over at the Cobequid ball field. And the event was that they were having like a donation drive, and people were just dropping off heaps and mountains full of bedding and coats and everything that people might possibly need.
That's nice.
It was very nice, but the problem was this was all outside. There's nowhere to store any of it.
Oh, not
right,
nice.
Right. So as the sun was setting, we were fighting the dew because it was just going to get everything really wet, and we didn't want to store things and have them get moldy. And so we basically fought our best with the sunset, trying to save everything, but we just couldn't. So the next day I came back, and I spent 5 hours there with my kid, who at the time was 18, and I still wouldn't bring my other one, who was under 18, because it just seems wrong to have people under the age of 18 there, just because there's a lot that goes on at places.
Definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, they helped me out for a few hours, but and then we realized we need more help. So what we did is we actually had this Facebook page for the event, and I put out a call saying hey, I need help, and I needed things. We needed Rubbermaid totes to store all this stuff in, and like there were certain things that people had been coming up and asking me for who lived in the tents, like, can I get zip ties? Does anyone have any bungee cords? And so I started making a list of all these things, and I started keeping track. So I ended up meeting all these other people who just showed up to help, and we formed kind of a little posse, as you do, and just started like helping out frequently, like almost every day. And we realized we needed money in order to start buying the things that people actually needed that wasn't being donated. Like, there were people who needed money for prescriptions, and it's just like random things. Like, some people, I got a new job, I need work boots, and like there was just always something specific and so we were running out of our own money. We needed help. So we formed a nonprofit on October 17th called the Gated Community Association. So we spent the winter basically looking after the folks in the ball fields. And I was there, I don't know, 4 to 5 days a week until they shut the field down in March, helping out folks. And when they shut down, I became the manager of the storage unit where we put everything that we could shove in there to salvage from the field. And people kind of got relocated because we couldn't find indoor places for everybody.
Where was the relocation? Is that still in Sackville?
There is no relocation. They did not actually designate anything in the Sackville or Bedford area.
Oh, I thought they were doing it near sports stadium.
They were gonna, but there was community pushback. So
was it because it was so next to the high school, like just right next to the high school?
Yep. Yep, that's why. So basically that just means that the people who are homeless in Lower Sackville and Bedford don't have a designated place to go. They just kind of have to find their own little nooks and crannies to wedge into. So Seton has its own thing. So Seton is, it's now the Beacon House shelter. So there's an indoor shelter, and then they have also got the pallet homes. So the pallet homes are just these little tiny sheds, and they just fit like one person in each of them. And there's only so many of them, and there's, I don't know how many of them there are right now, I can't remember, but less than 30 of them, and we've got like 1,000 people without homes. So it's kind of a drop in the bucket. And it's really hard to get those spots. And the people who did get them were finding it really hard to hang on to them. There's a lot of things that they're finding it difficult to manage. So we've got a lot of people in tents still. So as part of the manager for the storage unit, I help volunteers who are like street workers that go around to like meet people in tents and find out what they need, and then they come back and I fill their car. And I also have a few tents myself that I go and visit pretty regularly and just kind of keep them well stocked with whatever they need. But yeah, so that's the nonprofit. That's what we do. We're on Facebook. We are the Gated Community Cobequid Ball Field. It's a private group, but we let people in as long as they play nice.
Nice.
But, yeah.
So that is obviously a big leap forward in wanting to help people, something like that. It's not only are you busy with being a mother, not only busy with being a musician now and a live musician, but also being a community person as well, outside of the realm of.
I also own a small business on top of
that
as
well. As I introduced you, the singing goldsmith.
I am the singing goldsmith.
You are a singer and you are a goldsmith.
Indeed, I am.
Yeah, so you're just everywhere.
I'm just a little busy. I'm a busy bee. Yeah. Yeah, so I own a jewelry repair shop. I've had it for 16 years. So my dad opened this shop the day after I was born. And about 16 years ago in 2008, I was in my last year of university. It was like the summer right before, and he passed away suddenly from a heart attack. And overnight, I went from janitor to VP, and since then, I've become the president. I own the whole shebang, and yeah, it's not quite what I envisioned I'd be doing, but it does give me the flexibility to get everything else done that I need to do. Basically, I run the office. I did work solidly at the bench for like a year out of the 16 years, but most of the time I'm out there running the office. I'm doing all the paperwork, the payroll, and all the accounting and all that jazz. And I also string the pearls because you need really clean hands for that, and goldsmiths tend to have kind of like mechanic hands.
Yeah. But that's another thing, having oh man, having gold for the first time, I've realized how annoying it is.
Well, yeah, I've had to fix your ring.
Yeah, you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Yo,
sure.
this one's worse than last time, actually.
What did you do to it?
I have no idea.
It's a little squished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I play an instrument, I take it off.
Flat
So.
shank.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We can fix that.
Yeah, I literally take it off if I ever play cajon, which is so rare now.
Yeah.
But I noticed, I'm like, wow, that is...
Not
wow.
round. that is not a round ring.
No, that is a squash ring. That looks like an apple.
I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. Again, I don't know what I did. Like, I'm not carrying anything super heavy or anything.
Groceries will do it sometimes.
But I just know gold is malleable as hell.
It is, yeah. Well, and the higher the carat, softer it is.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
I think this one is 14?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, so standard in North America is 10, is like your basic. So that's kind of your tougher one in North America. Over in the UK, it's like 9. So that'll be like the toughest. But
so you know a lot about gold.
I do. I was literally raised in the industry.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like I said, my dad opened the shop that I now own the day after I was born. So I know a thing or two. If you go back far enough on my Instagram, you'll see a few videos.
Really?
Where I was doing some goldsmithing.
I'll have to dive in.
It's a deep dive. It's like hundreds deep.
Hundreds deep? How many photos do you have?
I have many.
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 Let me see this. Hold on.
I don't know how many. Many photos.
Let's see.
But yeah, like
singing goldsmith.
I've been
817. Okay.
817 photos, videos. Yeah. So I've been toying with like, do I change my name now that I'm going into a more like music focused audience? I don't know. Or like hiking is a big thing for me, like nature. Like I love that. So my Instagram is very nature based. I haven't quite figured out how to blend all of that because I am a woman of many interests, but I don't know, because like my music and my nature are they're linked. Like I hide little Easter eggs of nature and adventure in every one of my songs.
Bird sounds, hike sounds.
Content, like the concepts and words. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just to kind of keep it relevant. So it's basically songs you could hike to.
Songs you can hike to.
Songs you could hike to, yeah.
Okay.
Or road trip
it took me a second. My brain was like, I heard two different things: songs to hike to, or songs to get hyped to.
I mean, you could also get really hyped, but like my
starting hitting bench at the gym, just listening to some Michelle Calder.
Average vibe of my songs are pretty chill though. So
I will say though, I'd say like there's a lot of. There's a range or like a spectrum on your EP.
Yeah.
Circling back from like 10 to plus minutes ago.
Sure. Right, I have an EP.
Yeah, so I'd say there's a big spectrum on that. Yep. So when you released "Stay" as the debut single, that's country.
It kind of.
That's country.
It's like singer-songwriter.
That's some jazzy country. That's some old cowboy stuff right there.
Right.
But
it's not modern enough to be on a modern country station though. That's the thing.
Oh my goodness, yes it is. Send that to Oh my goodness, go send that to like any local station that has country, or maybe I think FX 1019 has a local spot on it because I had new friend Danon McClellan. I have one of his picks here. I actually played with. Yes. I played with him on the 31st out in Cambridge.
Nice.
Wherever Cambridge is, it's an hour from here.
Okay.
Take exit 4, keep going. Take exit 4 on the 101, keep going north.
Okay. Noted.
It's far.
Okay.
The coast of nowhere. I was playing a bunch of new country.
Right.
And then some Merle Haggard as the old. But it was fun. He's got one of his songs. He had a few people on there. He had Brent Trellope and he had Sean McKenna on his new song. And I believe that was on FX 1019. He made the post about it. Yeah. He's Danon. Okay. That's how you spell his name, yeah. Oh, are you looking them up?
No,
Oh.
actually, my kid just messaged me, and that's my only exception to pausing things for texting. My kid had a question.
But yeah, no, it should. If you have Stay,
Yep.
they'll probably take it.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a shot.
That's the thing. When people have like songs, and I'm like, why is that not on local radio?
Right.
Do it, and they're like, I don't know. It's just like, do it.
I mean, I am on local radio. I'm on like 7 different radio stations right now.
Oh shit, you're doing better than me. I'll tell you that one.
Yeah, so I've got some things. I mean, I also just got my first #1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With,
2 weeks in a row.
The opening song on the new EP,
yep.
Summer Love.
Summer Love. That's it.
So that was another one. So when Stay came out.
Yep.
Country.
Yeah.
Cowboy country, because it's very jazzy.
Right.
Like the first chord's a D9. And I'm like, that's not modern. That's on that cowboy stuff.
Right.
And then Snap wasn't on there. That was kind of like a side song for a
Snap
soundtrack.
was a side project because that was for
that was
a soundtrack to a movie.
Yeah, that was a whole process that day.
Indeed, it was.
I was there.
You were involved with that. Yeah.
That was a process.
Yep.
And then the Christmas song wasn't on there.
No, because it's kind of like a standalone.
Yeah.
It's its own
thing.
thing.
And then Singing to the Other Side.
Yep.
Which was folk.
Right.
That was truly folk.
Yep.
And that is, and now you say you're a folk singer.
I call myself indie folk pop.
Okay, same as Daryl. No.
Right. It encompasses some things, right? Like, because I've got the slower stuff that's more like folk, but then we've got Summer Love that's more like a pop feel.
I'd call it country like pop.
Yeah. There's something more upbeat and poppy about it.
Because that lead line just sounds country, and then it's just like, that's the pop part. It's just upbeat.
I wrote that song like 15 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's been kicking around for a while. My kid was like 4 years old.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I actually wrote that for.
That's just laying in the SoCan archives, just waiting for the good moment.
Pretty much. I was there was this talent show. It was like sponsored by Irving or something at Alderney Landing, and they took only the top 30 entrants, and I made it into the top 30. And in order to apply, you needed to have a demo, and I didn't have a demo, so I just threw together a couple of covers. But I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna get in with only covers. I'm gonna need something." And I just wrote this song in an afternoon and like recorded it originally with my kid's dad. Actually, like he helped me write the guitar part, and I wrote the lyrics and the melody, and we just recorded it in his basement and sent that off.
Summer Love, is that redone or is that the old?
It is redone.
Okay.
Yeah. So we sent this. So the original demo just had one guitar, one voice. That was it.
Not bad.
And like the original guitar had 2 chords. That's it. Just very simple, 2 chords. Throughout the entire song, it was like nothing else.
Some songs are amazing like that.
Yeah. So it was super simple, but we did that intentionally because we knew that if I did get in, I was gonna need to have the house band back me, and there'd be no rehearsal. So right, so I was like in a talent show, and I needed to be able to pull this off. So I was like, okay, 2 chords, we can keep this simple. And we can do that. No sound check, no rehearsal. We got this. So yeah, it was perfect because I literally just threw it at this house band because I did get in, and was like, okay, I wrote this in 2 days. Good luck. Yeah. So I made it into the top 10, which was pretty good. Yeah. It was my claim to fame at the time, and I just kind of held on to the song, and every now and then I'd pull it out for a gig or something if it was in the summertime. But it was one of those songs that I always kind of really liked, and it's got that upbeat fun, like there's so much fun to it. And
yeah, that's why I say you're like the whole EP's in a spectrum, right?
Yeah,
you have that song that's pop. You have Stay, that's cowboy country. You have Sing to the Other Side, that's folk.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember other song names. I can't remember the song names right now.
Let's see, we got The Guy,
that's me not...
Katla.
Yeah, that's
Always.
There we go. Oh, yeah. There. Wanderlust. So why is it called Wanderlust?
Wanderlust.
It's spelled in A.
What?
Wanderlust.
Yeah, Wanderlust.
Oh, they said wonder, and I was like...
No.
So why is it called Wanderlust?
So Wanderlust. So I kind of... I was picking words that I just really connected with my naturey kind of side of myself, and the fact that I really wanted to reflect the nature's kind of content within all the songs. Like Summer Love is it's actually about all my favorite places in Nova Scotia at the time, and it references, like, I've got a cottage, so it references the cottage, and it references like my uncle's camp, and like all these places that I just really loved, and so my brand, if you will, is I spend a lot of time, I spend a lot of gas driving around Nova Scotia and just the Maritimes in general, hiking, exploring, just kind of being an adventure girl.
You lie to your insurance companies?
I don't lie. I spend the money, man. I spend the money. It's worth it. I actually, oh man, my brakes went on my beloved like camper van Mabel like a month ago. We nearly died. We like careened through an intersection in New Glasgow or Stellarton, but yeah, we were leaving New Glasgow, and yeah, thankfully I have CAA because they were able to tow us all the way back from Stellarton to Lower Sackville for free. Thank God, on a holiday.
Jesus.
Right? But yeah, so I'm very hyper independent. So I have written a lot of the songs on the upcoming album and the EP that I just released in the trunk of my car, because I like to just like throw a mattress back there and go find some place cool and spend the night and just like deep dive into whatever is on my mind at the time, and that's how my songs get written. So I kind of, when I'm saying wanderlust, it's reflecting all the literal wandering I've been doing just to create this.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you going back a minute, you just said, hyper independent.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Stay came out, you told me the meaning of the song. Right. It was about an avoidant person, one night standing with another avoidant person. All of a sudden, they're not avoidant with this person. Basically, it's just like you've caught feelings after a one night stand with this, and you just lost all avoidance. So hyperindependence, is that a scenario, or is that just something that has happened? Now, I've asked this a lot of times with singer songwriters. This is not just I'm about to clown you for this, but I asked this with singer songwriters.
Yeah.
I branch it off into two different things.
Yep.
Stories, scenarios. What are you?
I learned a long time ago that it's best to write about what you know. I don't make up stories.
Based.
Yeah, everything's based in reality.
Oh no, based as in highly agreeable, very relatable.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
that's
cool,
what
cool.
based
Well,
means.
for
Gen
me,
Z
what I
slang.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a Gen Z. I'm a Zennial. I'm like that
Zennial.
weird, the weird generation in between like millennials and Gen X or Z or whatever it is.
No, you still be millennial.
Well,
41, right?
I'm 41.
Yeah, you're a millennial. Yeah.
I'm like on the cusp. Like I was around before the internet.
Gen Y?
No.
No, Gen Y is millennial, my bad. Gen X. Okay. Were you saying Z as like an X or?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
think so.
Because when I hear Zillennials, that's like late stage Gen Zs. So like people that are like 26, 27, like born right before 97.
Right. No, I'm like a late stage millennial.
Ah.
Okay. I'm right.
So you're X-millennial. There you go.
There you go. I'm Zennial. Zennial. What were we saying?
So I was saying the term based is something that's very highly agreeable or very relatable.
Yes.
Like something that a lot of people can agree on. It's
Right.
that's pretty based.
Right. And I was saying that, my songs are based
On
true events.
But as a person who does write, based on like things as well. So like the songs I have out right now, I mean, I stick with stories, and there's a few times that I have done scenarios. So like my scenarios would probably be seasons are changing, cuffing season, and the one that we actually got out just a week ago, less than a week ago, boyfriend material. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. I was like, C blues, I need some choir in there.
Yeah.
Michelle.
I know.
It's like I can sing
that
high, but I don't
you
want
have
to.
me on now, like so many.
It's like I can sing high, but I don't want a countertenor. Michelle.
Right. literally live 5 minutes from you, so it's so easy. I can just pop over. But yeah.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of ones you've been on. You've been
Yeah.
on Ken's song "Blue Nose
Yeah.
Baby," his debut song.
Debut song.
Your Rhythm Magic.
Yeah, and we've written like 2 songs that never saw the light of day.
Was there 2? I knew one was.
Oh no, it was. We wrote one, and then there was
Yeah.
that Jacob Collier song.
Oh, we were gonna cover that Jacob Collier song.
Yes.
Yeah, I just got very complacent with mixing because it was like over 100 tracks, and I was
happens.
like, man, nah.
It happens. It
But
happens.
yeah, it was that one that never made the light of day. I don't
Right.
remember what it's called at this point. Rose tinted glasses.
There you
That's
go.
what it's called.
Yeah.
But at that point, I realized the reason why I didn't want to carry on with it was like, man, it's just petty at this point. And I was getting fed up with pop. This is right before I swapped to blues.
Right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
nah.
Fair.
And then blues hit, and I started saying stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say Teach Me How to Love Again. Teach Me How to Love Again was more of a scenario one. Mm-hmm. I did write it for a person,
Mm-hmm.
and I had it originally like a pop song in A major, and now we have this fast upbeat song in C blues. Same chorus, but the pre-chorus and the verses are different. But it's all the words from the original song, and it's somewhere in my archives somewhere. I don't have it labeled properly.
Yeah.
But Rose Tinted Glasses, I was like, man.
Yeah.
No, I already wrote a song about this person. I wrote "It's Not Me, It's You." I don't need to like, even though like the idea was cool,
Mm-hmm.
it was like getting both sides of the story. I was like, no, it's beating a dead horse at this point.
Fair.
But then
But
writing,
you're saying you like to write in different categories.
I like to stick on stories, but then I very
Mm-hmm.
rarely write scenarios.
Okay.
So like,
So you don't like dip into personal events.
no, I dip into personal events. That's
Okay.
my stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I only have like a few examples of like of scenarios.
Right.
So like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's a story.
Sure.
Make time is
Yeah.
a story. It's a wild story.
Yeah.
Antisocial media is a story.
Mm-hmm.
Boyfriend material is a scenario.
Yeah.
There's a few songs. I mean, I've stated what the tracks are going to be called on Sweater Weather 3. So like,
Right.
the one I just did with Cam Hayes. I let him listen to it last night. He likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Really likes it.
Good.
It's called Cutting Ties.
Right.
I think that might be the title track for Sweater Weather 3. I don't know.
Okay.
But Cutting Ties, yeah, that's a story. There's one that's called The Maniac's Trip. That's a story.
Right.
Opening track, Don't Give In
Mm-hmm.
to Your Sins. That's a story. And it's
Yeah.
also based off Proverbs 5, verses 3 to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Making a song out of a Bible verse here.
Yeah.
What else we got here? How'd I Let It Get This Far? That's also a story.
Yeah.
Pretty Ladies, but None as Pretty as You. That's also a story.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got here? Fumbling the Bag Blues, or How'd I Even Lose You? That's a story. And then there's one that Ken wrote, but I'm doing the song for, and I want to get you on that one actually.
Yeah.
It's called-
Have you asked me about that one already?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called I Want Your Rhythm, Not Your Blues.
Right.
But I'm just a busy/lazy individual. Oxymoron,
Sure.
I just have yet to put the bass and guitar on it, but
Yeah.
everything's there.
Hook me up. You know where to
I
find
will.
me.
But yeah, I find even going back before I did the genre swap, even when I was in pop,
Yeah.
stories was the best way to get my point across.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just a skill issue where I can't really get a point across in a scenario
Mm-hmm.
or fabricate, because I don't like lying, especially in a song.
Right.
I'm not like, yeah, that happened. But it didn't happen,
Yeah. Like I try not to exaggerate too much. There's a little bit of artistic license, obviously, that happens, but yeah, like I treat songwriting like writing in my diary. So I tend to get
Same, okay.
pretty personal. There's a lot of songs I write that will never be released because they're just
same.
way too personal. But
Not that though, but yeah.
yeah. So like, it's a fine line. Like where I treat it like therapy basically. It's it helps me work out what's ruminating in my head, and yeah. And sometimes I just don't really have anything ruminating, and I just kind of want to write a nice song. and that works too. You know, like I've written songs. I wrote a song recently just about going for a hike. Wrote another one about spending a day at the beach.
Nice.
Right, like they're just nice songs. They don't have to have anything big. 'Cause sometimes like I'm finding the culture of music these days, like everything's very, it's like consumer culture with they just want like quick tidbits of stuff like for TikTok and like for reels for Facebook, Instagram. They don't really, they're not interested in full songs as much. Absolutely, there's still a market for full songs, but there is also now a big market for little clips. So what people are looking for right now is clips that go along with the kind of footage that they're trying to put out there. My market is it's nature based, so it's people who want to post their hikes, people who want to like post their vacations. So I'm kind of looking at, when I'm writing things, if I don't have anything specific that I'm like, I just gotta get this out of me, then I can kind of sit down with those moments and capture moments that might actually make a good clip for a reel. Because that's how I'm hoping to catch on eventually, because that's the market that we're in right now. Is if you want to get anywhere, you need to get picked up by reels and TikToks, which is weird. Like music no longer is the product, music is the vehicle.
Yeah.
Like music is the commercial to get people to buy your merch. Music is it's the way that you get your name out there, but you are the brand and you're just trying to sell other, like shows, you're trying to sell shows. Because if you can get people to come out to physical shows, you can make money off that.
Mm-hmm.
But making money off of streams, like I just had a #1 hit, I've made 72 cents. Like,
oh, yeah.
you don't,
it's non-existent.
Right? You don't make money as like a recording artist anymore just off of that.
No.
That's not how it works anymore.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it was, you had to tour to sell records, and then it swapped to sell records to tour.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of back, tour to sell records.
Yep. So like, yeah, like I guess my whole strategy at this point is just get my name out there.
Yeah. So basically, all the modern musicians now, they have to be A, in touch with social media.
That's it.
B,
we have to use it as a tool.
Whore yourself.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
did it. Like we went with the promotional video I did for Boyfriend Material.
Right.
That was a 2-minute video.
Right.
So like literally 2/3 of the song was in the background.
Okay, so I just did my only show up until now in 2024. I do have another show booked, so I have one coming up soon. But my only show so far this year, and we did a commercial for it. My buddy Lyle, who I've known since I was like 6 years old.
Like you did last year.
That's it. So last year we had this same gig. It's this outdoor thing in Sackville here, and like I'm known in Sackville because of the church. Like I grew up really heavily involved in the church. I mean, church choir, right? So like people know you to see you. And I've been in musicals and countless things.
Is that how John Sear and Lyle Mailman know you?
So I met John through Lyle, because Lyle and John are friends. But
different John, by the way. We talked about
yeah, you're right. John Sear, John Hines, different Johns, both great.
John Lindsay Bond as well.
Oh, John Lindsay Bond, so many Johns.
Yeah.
So John Sear is he's Sackville's Luke Combs.
Sackville's Luke Combs.
He's Sackville's Luke Combs.
He's just got that swag on. All right.
He does. He's got it. But yeah, so he did the show with us as well. But he can commit to like the nitty gritty of like organizing and planning and like showing up and all that stuff. But like the advertising part, he kind of left that up to us. So Lyle is hilarious. He's like, I was like, okay, do you want to make a script? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I show up and he has no script. And he's just like, well, just play with it. We'll just roll with it. I'm like, okay. So we just came up with our commercial literally on the spot. Just kind of rolled with it. But it worked. We had about 300 people come out to our show.
Yeah, it was good. It was
a great show.
I had to dip after your set, so I didn't get to see John or Maurice.
Yeah.
But it was friggin' crazy.
Right? Like last year, because I count the audience because you want to know, right? So last year I had half that. So because I was the opening act for last year and this year. So last year I had about 150 as the opening act, and by the time that like the next act, like Jackson came on, there was probably about 200 people in the crowd. By the time John got on, there was probably 250. So This year, as the opener, I had 300.
That's impressive.
Right? Like, we had more than that by the time John got on stage. Like, it was... Yeah. Like, my mind was blown. I'm like,
it's great. It's great to see a giant capacity of people. It's incredible.
It was amazing. Like, and like I could see people singing along to my song, and like, man, yeah, that was pretty cool. I was like, I'm a total rock star now. Look at me.
Definitely a big step up from.
At least in Sackville, in Lower Sackville, I made it. But you know, it's my hometown, so I love that. Like, it's kind of sweet when you get to make it in your hometown first, and then you can kind of grow from that. And like, I have our local radio station, CIOE, to thank for that. If it wasn't for Martin Hickey, like, there's no way. Like, he's my knight in shining radio armor. Like, he's just yeah.
No, he's done a lot. I met him.
Mm-hmm.
He came to a Brothers in Groove show. I was just at the door, and he came up. We had a mask on, but he just came up, and he said who he was, and I was like, "Oh, you're Martin Hickey. Oh, okay, nice to meet you."
Right? And
then he mentioned, he's like, that new song with the Jamming Through the Night, and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Send me that."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. Such a great guy. Yeah, he's always made sure that my stuff made it at least onto the radio.
Yeah.
So, and like, once it made it onto the radio, then it was kind of, I was able to get opportunities for the countdown. Like, Stay spent 7 weeks on the countdown. My Christmas one spent the holidays on the countdown.
Singing to the Side went to the Hall of Fame, right?
Singing to the Other Side spent 3 weeks on the countdown. That's it.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
Lame.
I know, and it was right at the bottom, too. It was like 25, 23, 29.
Oh, I mean, that was the same with Seasons Are Changing. I think the highest I ever did was 21, and I think it lasted 9 weeks, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
Disappeared, MIA.
Yeah,
Made Steph look like an
Oh,
accident,
shoot.
yeah.
Today's Thursday. I didn't ask anyone to vote this week.
Girl.
I might have just effed myself over there.
Oh, I posted Wednesday evening before I went to Cam Hayes' open mic.
Yeah.
And I just hit a reminder on my stories today. I was like, hey guys, reminder, vote against 6.
So my song Summer Love, it debuted, highest debut of the week, at number 7. And it has not been below the number 5 in the past 8 weeks, which is amazing.
Oh.
I didn't ask anyone to vote this week, though, so, like, we may just about to witness it plummet. We'll see. Hopefully not.
Be ahead of you for once. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I didn't even vote for myself this week.
Girl.
Whoops.
I found that funny. There was one time it was like, I think we were like 2 spaces apart or something like that. Maybe 2 or 3 spaces apart. And I was like, I'm coming to get you.
I know. I was like, well, let's say we're going to the top. We'll be at the top together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden me just.
I know, you dropped.
And I was like,
I know.
I was like, okay, mine's more of like.
You were like every week how I found out where I placed. You'd send me a message.
Oh, I'd listen right to the end. I'm like, yeah, you're here, by the way.
I know. And then when I hit number 1, I didn't hear from you. I was like, what's happening?
No, I'm pretty sure I hit you with like a hello, Miss Number 1.
You did not.
I did it? No.
No,
that's
you can
not
check.
me.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Oh, no
right?
fucking way, dude.
I know. Oh, well.
There's no way that I didn't say hello, Miss Number 1.
You did not. You missed your opportunity.
What? I would have been at like church the next morning.
Yeah.
Really?
And you had 2 weeks to do it because I was number 1 for 2 weeks. Slacking. Lacking.
Okay, so here's August 10th, me 6, you number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's it.
Wait.
He doesn't believe me. He's searching through his phone right now. You wait.
Wow, I actually didn't.
Right?
Wow, I actually didn't.
That's what I'm saying. This is my friend right here.
I was like, you're at 7.
To congratulate
You're
me.
at 6, you're at 5, you're at 2. I just completely forgot 1. Oh my goodness.
I still love you.
I know damn well I saw it and I was like, holy shit, she made it to number 1.
I did.
And everyone was talking about it, like, holy shit, she made number 1.
Right? It was my first number 1. I was very excited. I was so excited. I filmed a reaction video immediately after. And then, like, it got shared on the radio station, like, on their Facebook. And I had people who don't even follow me on Facebook be like, I saw your video. It's like, aw.
Bro, I'm trying to get up there. Oh, my goodness.
I always
say, like, if a song gets to number 1, I'm cracking the champagne.
Do it.
I'm still going to. It just hasn't happened yet.
I was at Blueberry Jam when it happened. I had been
Was
going.
Blueberry Jam that long ago?
Yeah, it was 3 weeks ago.
No, because August 10th, I
Yeah.
said me 6, you 2. Right? So then the week after, you went to number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That was when?
Blueberry Jam was August 17th?
Yeah.
Or, really?
I know, the summer flu. It's
Oh,
crazy.
I mean, okay, August 17th, that's why. You know why?
Why?
Because I was doing a 12-hour music festival and I didn't have data. I didn't have access to data. I ran out of data and I was in Grand Bay, Westfield.
That was me this weekend in Giant
From
Stock.
9 to 10:40... No, from 9 to 10:15.
Yeah.
And I didn't leave and go back to, like, the house we were staying until, like, close to 11 because the teardown as well.
Yeah.
No, not even 9. No, we got there at 7:30. 7:30 to 10:30.
Yep.
A.M. to P.M.
Yep.
And I had no access to data. I kept bumming everyone for hotspots. Just to, like, talk to John or be like, hey, John, your piano's not working, by the way. Something's wrong with it. Or being like, someone was like, what DAW do I use? Or Jesse called me because the day before he had, like, something go wrong at Rumors.
Jesse, that's someone I should talk about. I said, that's someone I should talk about. I'm in a band, by the way.
She's in a band.
By the way, I'm in a band. I'm in a band.
He's in Jesse's reformed band.
I
was in Jesse's.
I am in the
old
Jesse
band.
Patrick band. I sing backup for Jesse. I've been doing that for like
Is
8
that really
years.
what it's called? Jesse Patrick?
Yeah, like we tried.
Not Jesse Patrick and the...
No, like we kicked around a bunch of different names and couldn't find anything that we liked. So now we're just the Jesse Patrick band. So it's like, it's Jesse Patrick, and then when he has the band with him, because he sings a lot of solo stuff
And friends.
too. No, well, so if it's not the band, it's and friends, but like we have an official, so it's like myself, it's Alex Brushett, and now Gene
Gene Hughes, bass player now.
Hugh, yes. I've never heard his name out loud.
Yeah, when I
only
first
see
saw
it
that, I
written
was
down.
like,
Huh?
Yeah.
Gene Hugh.
Hugh.
Right. So, and Robert Campbell. So we are the
Wait,
core.
isn't there a second guitar player too?
I mean, no, not really.
Oh.
So we initially started out with a band that was supposed to go tour. Jesse had 2 opportunities to tour, and neither one panned out, which is really sad and heartbreaking.
His wrist said no.
His wrist said no, and his finances said no. We couldn't get funding. I know.
Double whammy.
So we were supposed to go to Texas in February, and we were supposed to go to Atlanta in August, and both of them fell through, and it breaks my tipping heart. But there will be other opportunities, so there's that. Exactly, there are lots of opportunities.
But I mean, right off the bat, you guys had what, 4 or 5 performances already as this 5-piece, 6-piece, 7-piece?
So we started out, like I said, with a different band.
You played Carlton for the first.
Yeah, so we played the Carlton November 17th last year.
You did.
And so we had myself and Robert, but we also had Tevin Tynes and Tyler Cox. And of course Alex. And yeah, like but they were basically their
Hired guns.
Yeah, they were hired guns. So like Tevin was Jesse's hands, because Jesse couldn't play because of his wrist. And we were all basically all signed on for Texas, and then when Texas fell through, Tyler's really crazy busy. He's got his own.
He didn't
thing
even want to
going
do
on.
Texas.
He what?
He didn't even want to do Texas.
He was gonna do Texas. Okay, well
he told me he did not want to do Texas.
Okay, well he was initially gonna do Texas, probably before he and his wife were expecting.
I remember at the Cannon, he was like, hey man, I'm just here for Carlton, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way.
Because, again, he's stupid busy. Because on top of that, he's in
a
Mahogany
really busy
Hollow.
guy. Exactly, he's got Mahogany Hollow.
The booking manager for the Loose Cannon.
Exactly.
He hosts the Loose Cannon open mics on Tuesdays.
Yep.
He's got a wife, now kid expecting.
Exactly.
And on top of that, he's a producer.
Yeah, he's a busy man.
He's a busy guy.
Super busy guy. And we had Tevin, and it was same with Tevin. I think Tevin was supposed to come down with us, but when that fell through, Tevin also super crazy guy. But I think Tevin, he needed to step back a little bit and take some more time for himself.
Yeah, I think he's already done. He's done with the Carlton now. He's stopped playing the Carlton.
Well, I don't know if he stopped he had a regular position, and I don't know if that ended yet, but I think it's going to if it hasn't already.
I remember seeing the countdowns all the time.
I think it's coming to a close really soon.
Because he just wants to work on solo stuff.
Yeah.
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 I mean, don't get me wrong, his band was friggin' incredible. Like,
the Tevin Tynes trio, phenomenal. Yeah.
Not even the Tevin Tynes, like, even when sometimes Ashton Weisner was in there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I got to play with him.
Yeah, yeah.
with Brandon McCluskey's band back when it was called Smiling Boy and Friends.
Yeah.
That was fun. We had at the biggest it was a 5-piece. So it was Brandon, me, the drummer, his name is David Gravlin, or Goddad, my bad, David Goddad.
Sure.
Ashton Weisner.
Okay.
And you had Brandon McGregor, who was a Long McQuaid worker for Kentville location.
Okay.
And then when the first gig we had, it was a 4-piece. Brandon McGregor wasn't a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Second show, Brandon McGregor was a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Ashton went to L.A.
Okay.
And then it was a different drummer for our last show together.
Okay.
But no, it was still good nonetheless. That's when for shows branching out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Go do patties.
Yeah.
Now I think no, not patties anymore. I don't see a lot of volume calling out from patties, but it's the spot that's like slightly down the road. I think it's like Kings Iron Commons or something like that.
Is that down in Windsor?
No, it's Wolfville.
Wolfville. Okay.
It's literally like I think like a few buildings down from the Patties pub.
Okay. All right.
But there's live music happening there all the time now.
Yeah, there's so
It's a bitchin' spot.
the valley has its own little circle.
Yes.
And
the circle spans
circle
from Windsor to like Kenville.
Right. So yeah, I was in the circle for a very short, brief moment there back in 2020 while I was dating a musician from the area, but things go. But anyway, so no longer really spending much time down that circle. So that's a circle that I'd like to get to know better. I mean, I know Ryan Roberts from down that area. He's amazing. Love that guy. But yeah, I'd like to get to know more of the artists from that area.
I do know a few artists from that area. Because I'm assimilated in that circle.
Right. Well, so Tony, so we have Tony Trimper is a mutual friend of ours, and he knows a lot of musicians from down that way, and they tend to end up at his shanty, which Michael, you and I have both been at his shanty, and yeah. There's the Gorley shanty where everyone kind of ends up as like the after party and the guitars, and we play till the wee hours, but. Yeah.
Me, it's like, damn, it's 12. I should go.
Oh no, I have severe FOMO. If there's a thing and I'm like, it could be so much fun, I'm there.
I do not have FOMO.
Oh no, yeah, Giant Stock this weekend. I stayed up till 5 a.m. both of the first 2 nights. The third night, I did not sleep. I was up until like maybe 10 a.m.
Good Lord.
Well, because I treat it like I'm at work. I am there to make connections with people. It's an opportunity to connect with people that I wouldn't normally see, and I really just want to network. And in the wee hours, that's when everyone's kind of more themselves, and it's a great opportunity to just make some genuine friendships. And right, that's how you do it.
If there's ever a time that we're both free and I decide to go up.
Yeah.
I'll bring you up with me, and we can. You can see the connections that I have up there as well.
Yeah.
So Rose folks, they actually came down one time to Tony's open mic.
Yeah.
Her partner and her cousin Maura.
Yeah.
And they just came down, show what they were made of.
Yeah.
And then they plugged their open mic, and this was the one that they had in. Port Williams at the Wayfarers Ale Society.
Right.
That has sadly fallen through.
Oh.
Within a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
New owners want to try different things, and they just don't want to have a weekly open mic for some dumb reason. And so, the Old Orchard Inn, which is...
The old O with the red barn.
Yes. It's slightly closer than Port Williams. It's maybe an extra 2 minutes closer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just right past Kentville, roughly Greenwich area.
Yep.
I think that is 6 to 9 or 6 to 8 something. No, 6 to 9.
Yeah.
And it's hosted by Rose again.
Mm-hmm.
I've not really seen a lot from Maura, but it's Rose and their partner Christina.
Yep.
And that place gets almost every table gets filled every time they.
Nice.
And it's rotating hosts every time.
Yeah.
So it's if I ever see Rose and Christina host, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, can I go down for this Tuesday? You know.
Yeah, that's a circle I'd like to go and meet.
And I kid you not.
Yeah.
I brought 2 of my friends down. I don't know if have you met Gibson Holdsworth yet?
No.
Okay. I brought Gibson and another one of my friends who doesn't play, but she just wanted to get out of the house.
Sure.
I brought them both down. I played, then Gibson played. We ended the night.
Nice.
And literally, after hearing Gibson play, they had him as the special guest for next time they hosted.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, "You going down?" And I was like, "I'm in New Brunswick. I can't."
Yep.
But yeah, it's good. They always have special guests. I don't know if it's just solely them who do it, but it's the Old Orchard Inn. It's great, and that's kind of how like I mean, back when they did the one at the Wayfarers Ale Society, that's when I kind of like actually got to sit down and hang out with Joe Henry.
Oh, I love Joe Henry. I actually got to hang out with him this weekend. He's the best.
I met him one time beforehand.
Yeah.
And then so. I knew of him, and he was supposed to play at the No Cases, like the thing that Brian hosted during Music Week 2022.
Yeah.
And he didn't show up.
Oh, no.
You know why?
Why?
Because his manager said, "Fuck this.
Yeah.
You're gonna go meet Matt Minglewood."
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
And we didn't know that.
Right.
We didn't know that. We were just like,
Sure.
we were like, where the hell is Joe Henry?
I mean, that's a popular question.
Yeah. So then. I'm just there minding my business. I'm up front because I don't know a damn soul besides the hosts. So I'm just up front with the host, right at the mixer, and I turn around and I go, "Oh, hi, Joe." And he's like, "Hey, good seeing you, Michael." And he's like, "So how do you know Rose?" And I'm like, "Well, Rose and Christina and Maura came down to Sackville one time to plug their open mic." And I finally had the opportunity. This was like 7 months later. I finally got to go up to the open mic.
Yeah.
But no, it's okay. So that valley scene spans from Windsor to Kentville. So you have Windsor, Falmouth, Gaspereau, Grand Pre, Wolfville, Greenwich, Port Williams, New Minas, Kentville. That's that circle.
Right.
And maybe a little Canning. I don't know, because you can get to Canning from Port Williams. But that's the circle, and everybody gets together there.
Yeah.
And it's very friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed really nice. I mean, in 2020. It's been a while.
I mean, again, I don't know. I even asked Robert this, like, what was pre-COVID like for live music? And
yeah, it was pre-COVID that I was there.
Yeah, and I only went there again post-COVID, like post mask mandate. That's the only time I ever went up there for the first time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was just like, was the scene pretty bitchin' beforehand? And then the first time I played there, nothing. Every time I've been there, it was nothing less than $90 for my cut. That's how like.
It's pretty good.
I know, and Patty's is like the spot that does live music.
Right.
Every Friday night.
Right.
So 5 minutes before the show starts, everyone's sitting there. It's like, hey, there's a show going. Pay or leave. You know.
Right.
That's what the staff does.
Right.
And I was like, that's smart.
Right.
Because people are eating. It's like they're not gonna get a free show.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the cost of the food is relatively decent, but it's again, you know, if you want to stay, you gotta pay. You gotta support the artists. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So every time I played there, it was great.
That's great. I love places that actually support artists, because there's a lot of people who just they want to have. That's good. There's a lot of people who want to have live music and they don't quite appreciate the value of it.
Old owners of Pizza Town did. They really.
Sheldon.
Yeah. And well, Crystal wasn't an owner, but Crystal was the booking manager. Jim Bob. Jim Bob and Sheldon, they really appreciated live music.
100%.
And I know the new owners do live music now, but
I haven't met them yet.
I've yet to meet them too.
Yeah.
Because I'll do once a month.
Yeah, well, Jer's been playing there, I think, so I'm gonna have to go. He's over at Sakawa, but I thought he played something at Pizza Town.
He did the 2 goodbye parties.
Yeah, I did one of the goodbye parties.
Yeah. So the first one, where it was indoors, was supposed to be the first one, but they delayed the moving to a month. So I was at the second goodbye party.
Yeah.
Then he has one coming up this Saturday. He has one in October, and he has next Saturday.
Yeah.
One in October and one in November.
Yeah.
So the people who've played there already, I think it was one of Chris Margerson's bands that already played there. I think Jesse Patrick already went there.
Yeah, by himself. Yeah, he was there when I was at Blueberry.
Oh, was it August 17th?
He was there the Friday.
Oh, the 16th. Okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's not bad. Like anything, I know we both have like a giant list of gigs and radio stations, or like places for gigs as well.
Yeah. I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I find as the genre that I am, it's hard to book gigs, because basically bars want to bring in people who will drink because that's how they make their
Yeah.
money, and my genre does not really like that's not the scene.
You know, good spots for you.
I bring in tea drinkers. That's
You know, some good spots for you.
where
So I don't know if they still do live music, but Edible Matters on.
I've sung there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
one of them.
It's okay, and
Maybe
but
Beaverbank Station.
no, even Beaverbank Stations. You need to kind of bring in the drinkers.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm friends with. Do you know Sarah Hunt?
No.
No. She kind of does that soft
Yeah.
stuff like you, but
Yeah, like,
she brings people.
Because this is the thing, like, I am capable of doing a 3 or 4 hour set full of covers that people will just, like, raunch to, like, they can drink and get their jam on, whatever. Like, I can throw a party, but that's not my genre. Like, that's not who I am.
Some other spots would probably be Gus's Pub. So
I actually have a gig coming up at Gus's Pub.
Please tell us.
I will tell you right now. I'm looking at my calendar. Where am I at here?
But Gus's Pub will.
Where's Gus's?
They appreciate folk.
Yes, they do.
Carlton.
It's at the 20th of October.
20th of October. Am I doing something?
I don't know what
20th of
time yet,
October?
but it's a nighttime gig. So
That's either 8 to 11 or 7 to 10.
Kelsey Erskine, she's putting together.
Oh, Kelsey Erskine.
Yes.
Nice.
Kelsey Erskine. I met her through Andre Patapa.
I met her through the open mic. She's in the same course as Jacob.
Okay, yeah. So she's been coming out to Andre's open mics that he was doing at the Pint this year, and I met Andre last year at Giant Stock, as well as Darcy Walsh. So, so he's East Coast DNA podcast.
Yes.
And so he would tell me whenever Andre was in town, and I'd come and hang out with them at the Pint, and that's where I met Kelsey. Immediately met Kelsey, and we were like BFFs. We're like giggling over putting chalk on the walls, and like so like she's awesome. So she messaged me recently, and she said she's putting together this folk night at Gus's.
Yes.
So I don't know how many artists are involved, but I can guarantee you I'm one of them.
Did you say the 20th?
Of October. It's a Sunday night.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. I was about to say I played the day before at Freeman's.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to be doing for advertising, but closer to the date, I'll probably get something up to try and
Usually
get that
4
going.
weeks in advance is like a good thing to do.
Right. Well, I usually, you throw something
4
out
weeks
there.
or 30 days.
See, I find that's too far out for most of my followers.
Facebook events.
I could
Start whoring,
Yeah, I could do that. But like most people, a week is kind of what they need. One of my kids is calling me. I'm gonna just send them a message and be like, sorry.
Doing
Custom
things here.
currently on air. Yes, sorry.
But I would say, those spots are pretty, like, where I've seen folk happen the most. Maybe even New Scotland Brewing, because I've seen more in Clare.
But I've approached them
Two
like
Crows
5
Brewing?
times and have yet to actually get a response.
Have you done Two Crows Brewing?
Nope.
You should try Two Crows Brewing.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of folk. You ever been to Two Crows Brewing?
No.
You should definitely try, and if you're available on a Monday, go to Noah's Two Crows open mic. It's phenomenal. I think I talked about it to Daryl, and it is just a bunch of reverb.
Okay.
It sounds pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, like, so right now I'm kind of taking a step back from booking live shows because I find there's so much work that goes into that.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
And like all the preparation and everything, especially. So I am putting my focus right now on getting an album out. Yeah. So I've got on the upcoming album, I'm going to include the 6 songs that I already just put on the EP.
Yep.
But I've got 7 to 9 songs right now that I'm playing with that are going to be on the new album. Because I know for ECMAs, if I want that new album...
Oh, it's going to be a big album.
It's going to be a big album. Because for ECMAs, if I want my album to be considered, it has to be 50% new content that's not been submitted. And I'm currently submitting the EP for ECMAs. So I have to have at least half of the content, like, never before seen.
Okay.
So I'm going big.
15-track album, not bad.
Well, something to that effect. So I'm making the demo right now. I've got my home studio, and I am just recording all the tracks, and I'm gonna do a little mix. Like I'll do my editing myself. I prefer to do my own editing anyway, so that I kind of have that creative control, and I know what it's gonna sound like.
Yeah.
And then I will throw my mix and master at a couple of different producers. And just I know I might know a guy, and just get them to kind of do a preliminary demo. It doesn't have to sound amazing, but I want to have a demo track so that at Music Week this year.
Damn, I can only do amazing. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, so that I can pitch it, because I want to go big. I want funding. I want to actually record in like one of the bigger major studios here in Halifax.
Ocean Floor and or Sonic Temple.
Yep. There's also Joel Plaskett's one I'm considering as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Joel Plaskett's.
Right. So yeah, so there's a few I'm tabling right now that I haven't decided. So, but that's what the future of that looks like, is that I'm going to be pitching at Music Week, which is in November. And I'll be meeting with the one-on-ones to see like what kind of funding I could maybe secure for myself. Yeah. So sky's the limit. I've been working towards this, for the last solidly 8 years, where like every year for like my New Year's resolutions, I would set goals for myself for music of like, okay, well, here's where I want to get to. This is the steps I have to take to get there. What can I do this year? And just chonking away at those goals each year.
Yeah, mine was kind of the reverse for this year.
Yeah.
Mine was like, I'm gonna not play as much.
There you go.
And that didn't happen.
Okay, so yeah, where I literally was like, okay, I need to focus. I need to actually put the time in and make this happen, and that's what I've been doing. I'm going hard. Every week I've been meeting with people to record. So yeah, so I want to make this as big as I possibly can, because I don't want to have any regrets on this. Yeah, so we're just gonna see what happens. Like I'm still like I'm open to writing new tracks. It's getting crunch time now to add in new stuff, but I still could, like I could, once I get funding or what have you, with what I've got, like I don't plan on actually entering the recording studio until January, so like I have time if I want to throw some new stuff out there. But like I'm someone who will write whether I'm including it in a project or not, so I'll probably just keep writing. Like right now, the last like 2 days I've been stewing over a song, so that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, that's me right now. I mean, I don't know if you squint, you see all the projects up. There's clients and then a bunch of my songs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, as life unfolds, that's how I process it. So I've got some processing to do, which I'll head into my own little space with that. Right now, my van is my songwriting studio.
You know where mine is?
Where?
I kid you not. If I'm like waiting for something to happen at work, I'll start writing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm filling up a tank with water and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I got nothing to do. And
yeah, like my phone is full of like sentences and like little paragraphs of just like clips of things that I'm like, oh, that's great, I gotta keep that. So I at work next to my phone, where I have like a little notepad to take like messages, it's just stacks of like random lyrics that I've just over the years shoved into, been like, oh, this is great, I'll use this, and then I never do.
I've written one step forward, two steps back, boyfriend material,
right,
and I think that's it at work.
Yeah.
And then I wrote Make Time, I kid you not, at Rock the Harbor last year.
There you go.
Just like...
Yeah.
You say something to me. It's just like the whole song, just written
yeah.
over the weekend.
That's hilarious.
Wrote boyfriend material in like 45 minutes, and I was like,
yeah,
this is filler. This is a filler song. Yep.
Yeah, like sometimes they come really quick. Sometimes it takes me a little longer, and it's different for me too. So like I will write some songs complete start to finish with like the lyrics and the guitar chords and the melody, whole shebang. I am capable of doing that. But then there's other times where I write the lyrics and then I'm like, Scott. And I throw the lyrics at Scott and I'm like, what do you make of this? Like what? So one of my weird strategies is I will often get like a song that I'm just like so obsessed with. I'm just like, oh man, this is amazing, and I'll just listen to it 100 times, and I will sit there and play it in the background while I'm writing a song, so that my sentence structures are kind of modeled off of this song, and then I don't want to copyright it because I'm not using their concepts, I'm not using like any of their words, but it's the structure. So then I will give it to Scott, who has not heard this song, and be like, make it ours. And then he'll come up with something completely different. And then we've just got like this new song that was inspired by this other song. So it's, yeah, like it's, I don't know, that's one of my fun things I like to do.
I mean, yeah, I also take song inspirations as well. Definitely, Antisocial Media, that's Tush by ZZ Top.
There you go.
Yeah.
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 That's basically just messing around with like on the one where it's like the 7#9, which is like the Jimi Hendrix chord.
Yeah.
Where people use that, they'll deal with that. It's like it's in a major key, but they have the flat 7 and the flat 3rd in there, or the sharp 9.
Right.
And it's just like, oh man, that kind of hits, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to do something with that.
Right.
That's how that's like the one inspiration I have. It's like, yeah, I hear ZZ Top.
For me, it could be any song. There's so many out there that I just like. They just hit, right, and then you just you feel it, and I don't know.
That's the one time I really just like took a song and was like, yep, that's that, and that. But every other time it's kind of like, I've had to not hear this before. I've had to not hear this.
Yeah.
It's like this has to be new, you know.
Yeah.
Because like anyone can be like, that's my song.
Well, yeah, like I intentionally I don't copy people because copyright infringement, but like I don't know, it's okay to be inspired by people, I think, and like structure, there's only so many sentence structures out there, but yeah, I don't know, there's so many ways to write songs. Like I like exploring with that. I don't do a lot of like lyric co-writes though. I would say 100% of my lyrics are mine.
Yeah, I can't for some reason do co-writing. I don't know why. It just
Although, you know
crashes.
What? Brian and I, we did actually co-write the lyrics on that one.
For
the
Snap?
soundtrack for Snap. Yeah, we actually co-wrote the lyrics to that on the set of the movie that we were filming at the time. We were just like on breaks, and our director kept getting mad at us because she's like, "What are you doing over there? Get over here!" We're like, "We're busy.
We're making the soundtrack.
We're doing you a favor right now." Yeah, but no, it was a good. He wrote, I'd say, at least like 80% of the lyrics to that song.
Not bad.
So I only wrote a few, but
he's a big storyteller as well.
he is. Yeah,
I'd like to get him on here, but he's like on the other side of the province, or the
He's
other side of the
a
country.
busy man. He does visit Nova Scotia, so next time. I mean, you could do him over
Last
the
time
phone.
he was here was May.
Like, I mean, like Leona does her stuff over the phone. Darcy does his stuff sometimes over video chat. Like, there's ways.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of like doing Zoom or Discord because it's the fact we'll have these mics.
Yeah.
And then if they're on their phone mic, sometimes it cuts out and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, but artists, most of us at this point have interfaces, and we're
some do, some don't.
technologically-
There's ones that just don't know the gear.
I suppose, but if the people you're gonna have on your show, they'd have the gear.
Oh yeah, that's literally one of the spots. Gearheads, home
Exactly.
recording.
They'd have the gear.
Yeah. Singer songwriters, like it's like you gotta have that to be here, you know.
I've got my little M Audio interface.
That was actually my first one, the M Audio M Track 2.
Yeah, and I like my what I record on right now is I've got this Neumann KMS 105.
Oh my goodness,
right?
That must have been a lot of money.
She was a little expensive.
Yeah, Neumann. Oh yeah, easily 4 figures.
But she's the microphone that Maggie Rogers uses.
Ooh.
So I had to have it.
If I wanted to actually get something like kind of like Neumann, I would
Yeah.
probably just get the clone of it. I'd get the Warm, the WA87, which is basically a U87.
Yeah.
But it's like a fraction of the price. Anything by Neumann is just disgustingly overpriced, in my opinion.
But they're worth it though. Like so, it's a dynamic. So I needed something because
it's not a large diaphragm condenser like these.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
Oh.
It's different. It looks like an SM58.
Gross.
But it's not an SM58. It's an
Less gross.
amazing, really super cool microphone. Cause so like my tones, like I'm classically trained, right? So like I can belt, but I also sing really soft because my voice is predominantly soft, and I really love leaning into those whisper techniques. And I love the dynamics of being able to just like start there and grow big.
Yeah, I can't go
And an
soft.
SM58 just doesn't quite cut it. You
58s? No.
know?
I am on, until the day I die, a SM58 hater.
Okay.
I will slander the 58s. I hate 58s.
Yeah.
Even in like live mixing, and it's just like, I literally will be on this console. It's like, oh, SM58, okay.
Yeah.
High frequency, down.
Right.
All the way down, because it's just it's so bright, and if it's anything super bright, it's like Feedback City, and you know you gotta say someone's a weak singer, you gotta like push it all the way up, risking feedback, just in case.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. I really am not a fan of
concur.
58s.
I concur. I've had some bad luck with that.
The mics that I
yeah.
stand by. What's funny is Apex, which
Yep.
is the Long McQuaid brand. You can never go wrong with them, which is amazing because. Well, I have the 850. They don't make those anymore.
Yeah.
That thing's a tank. And it picks my voice up perfectly. I also have a 310. Because they make 300s, 310s, and 320s now. The 310 is great as well. They both sound phenomenal. Actually, the 310 kind of sounds a little like more polished than an 850. But the 850, it's just like you can do whatever you want to it. And it's just not going to fail on you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a feedback error with the 850.
There you go.
It's just great. I don't know what the mechanics of it. I don't know what Long McQuaid did with their Apex brand, but they definitely were cooking, and they did an amazing job. Sadly, they discontinued it. But anyone has an 850, I go, is that an 850? Is that an Apex 850? I love it, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, that mic is amazing. I have one. Cool. Mine's like, oh goodness, 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Damn.
It's incredible. I love the mic.
Yeah.
Because
I've
like,
only had mine for like a year. My Neumann.
Because all it is like if you go on any mixer, I just like turn everything like the 3 frequencies just turn to like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm golden, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I just love the simplicity.
Yeah.
And you don't gotta touch it for the rest of the night unless you're loud, and then if you're in like an open mic, a bunch of people are soft singers, and all of a sudden I start singing. It's like, oh, let's bring them down,
Right. Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't have a soft voice, but I'd like to get a soft voice.
Yeah.
And like if I'm singing quiet, it's gonna sound like Waylon Jennings, and I do a lot of Waylon Jennings now.
Fair.
But yeah, if I want to sing soft, it's kind of I gotta like be a not out of falsetto, but I gotta be like I gotta be approaching it basically. So like a good example would probably be like Gold on the Ceiling on their pre-chorus, like the "But I'll never drown in." I'll go right up to the mic and I'll just like start singing it soft. And then as soon as I say to like the drowning, I back up, and that's when the voice kicks back in.
Oh, okay.
It's hard for me to sing soft. There's a lot of people like, oh, I sing soft or sing quiet. I'm like, I can't relate, And it, like any other person who does live mixes, it's a live mixing person's worst nightmare to have a soft singer.
Yeah.
Or a weak singer. And they're like, can you turn me up? I'm like, can you sing louder?
Funny story. So like, I just did a gig 2 months ago now with Jesse Patrick I won't say what bar we were in because that would be throwing them under the bus. But I was in a bar, and Joe Henry and Dan Baird showed up, and whoever did our mix, the bar had hired someone to do it. They did a terrible job, and then had to take off. They had to like go mix somebody else, and they just set it up really weird. And at one point Joe's trying to fix it, and Joe starts trying to teach me how to project, and I was like, Joe, I know you don't know me that well.
But I don't.
I can, but I was like, right now in the middle of this gig is not the time for me to completely change my voice. It's not the time. The look I gave that poor man. Like I love him, but
that man doesn't need a mic, so he doesn't need to worry about projection.
Right? And I'm here with my super crazy soft voice, like that also balances out. But it was like they couldn't, for whatever reason, they could hear me out in the crowd, but I had no monitor, so I couldn't hear myself in the monitor at all. Like not even like a whisper. And he's like, you just have to sing louder. And I'm like, I don't think that's it. Man, he has so much patience. Anyway, in the end, we never did figure it out. I had to borrow Jesse's mic for a couple of songs because we were supposed to do these duets and stuff, and that just didn't happen. We had to cut them all.
Y'all never thought to ask for me if I was available?
Well, the venue insisted on using their in-house sound guy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Some places in-house sound guys are trash, and I'll say it right there.
Some places.
I'll say it proudly.
Yeah. So it would have been a lot better for us if we'd had our own sound guy. But
that's the thing. Some people do have their own sound guys, but some places are a little goofy, and they insist it's like, oh, we'll have a hired one. It's just like, well, no, if we have one that's going to get the job done, don't get this guy out of their way. We have someone that is with us. Like, this is our guy. You know, like, wherever Dally Van Gogh goes, to play, Zach Lacey's there.
Right, and Zach Lacey, he's done stuff for the Carolers.
Yeah, and he does everything.
He does.
I ran into him one time when Nick and I went to PR Rally in March.
Yeah.
We were just like, what's up, Zach?
Yeah.
He's like, not much, just doing sound. I'm like, well, I see that.
As he does.
He
is the guy.
He does a lot of downtown stuff, and he'll post it, and I'm like, this guy, is he just the guy they ask first?
Probably. He's involved in everything.
Yeah, he's so much.
Yeah.
It's insane how much stuff he does.
Yeah. Well, he's out at Monty's and stuff a lot too. That's another crowd that I haven't really spent much time around. I know some of the people, like Dan Baird and I are decent friends. But I never get out there. I have to start going out there more.
I mean, I do this now, so I can't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could. You can still make it there.
I could still make it there. Technically, what time is it now?
I have no clue.
8:24. It started 24 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta be somewhere. I gotta play somewhere, and you gotta be somewhere to say happy birthday.
Actually, that got postponed. Birthday girl got sick.
What?
She's sick. We'll see her next week.
Apparently.
I know. So actually, I'm going to Freeman's.
Oh, we're going Freeman's? Alright, cool. I'm gonna have to swap out of pajamas, and then I'll go to Freeman's.
I love that. He's just sitting here in pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm wearing jeans. This is context for you. I've got jeans, some kind of t-shirt, and a plaid shirt, ponytail. I'm super cash. Oh, and my Converse on, because, I always have my Chucks. But,
and then me, yellow shirt from Giant Tiger, headphone PJs.
Right, we're just...
Argyle socks.
Casual buddies, as we do.
But
and my cuffs are rolled up because I'm short. Fun fact, I'm only 5'3". I'm just a little itty bitty.
Well, if that's the case, we should definitely wrap it up, and we should go to Freeman's. Hopefully Ken has not played yet, because I go play drums for his biggest song. Yeah. Frank Zappa's on the phone. So I literally messaged him, I was like, don't play, I'm wrapping up the podcast. Don't play yet. Because he's got a bass player with him, too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say, show on October the 20th at Gus's Pub.
And then you're a part of the Jamming Through the Night showcase. Big showcase kitchen party.
A guest performer at the Jamming Through the Night showcase. I've got an album coming out this winter. It will include the stuff that I just did with the EP. So the EP, I didn't even talk about, Brad McNamara, who recorded my EP. He recorded 4 of the tracks from the EP. So I will be including those 4 tracks from Brad McNamara. I don't even know yet whether he's going to be involved further. He's a really busy guy and hard to kind of carve out that time. But we'll see what we can do. And of course, my co-writer Scott McDonald will be on everything because he's heavily involved.
Is not Mailman a co-writer as well?
No, I don't have any.
No session musician as well for.
Nope, I don't have any session stuff. He's just my buddy, and we played the Acadia show together. we just go way back, You
should definitely get him if you've known him for that long.
I have known him for a super long time. Yeah, so we'll see what we can do, but yeah. Anyway, so that's it. I've got lots.
That is the life story of Michelle Calder.
Well, I would not say the life story.
No,
there's a lot of
the life story as the singing goldsmith.
Not even, but that's 2 hours worth of stories. We'll say that.
Oh my god! All right.
Right, an hour and 52 minutes worth of stories.
That's what I like when things get that length and you just talk forever and you just don't pay attention and you realize, oh wow, that's so long.
I know. This is why you and I, whenever I come over to record, it takes us all night long to get
something done.
A little short track
because none of us take Adderall. None of us take.
I know. Well,
none of us take our Vyvanse.
Yeah, I'm diagnosed ADHD.
I don't have it. I'm gonna say that I don't have it.
At least not diagnosed.
I know. I catch myself with time blindness, so there's probably.
There's probably something going on.
But it's I don't forget. It's just like wow, that was 50 seconds. Damn, that's wild. Like
there's a lot of nuances to ADHD.
Definitely time blindness is there, but like bad memory, that's not a thing.
Sure. Yeah. But anyway, thank you very much for having me.
Well, again, thanks for saying yes.
We're currently shaking hands.
Yes.
He's a very firm handshaker.
No.
I'm just a little itty bitty person, Michael. You can't shake me
You would
around
never
like that.
survive the grip of Mayor Peter Gelly if you're gonna act like that.
I've met the mayor.
Oh, he's crushed my hand so many times.
Yeah. Damn.
That didn't crush your hand.
I'm good. I'll survive. I was playing soccer actually yesterday with my partner Dave, and he like pummeled me accidentally with a soccer ball. So like I'm a hurting unit. I'm beat up. I'll be fine. I'll live.
Oh yeah. Well, this is episode 6 of the Bedroom Studios official podcast. Your host Michael Butts and special guest Michelle Calder signing out. I will see you guys next week, Monday around supper time as usual.